What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Mind If I Crash podcast. I have a very special guest today, someone who I find a lot of inspiration from. She is a business owner, a content creator, a singer, a songwriter, and so much more. My friend, Rebecca Maxwell, owner of Two One Thrift. Let's get into today's episode.
Alrighty, so thank you for being here. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. So first question, what was the vision when you started Two One Thrift?
So I've always been a big Cleveland sports fan, mainly baseball. Grew up with season tickets my whole life, so just kind of was always into the sports. And then my grandma got me really into thrifting at a very young age. So she would take me, and I loved the hunt. I loved the bargains. Like
Finding the steal?
Yeah, I am such a bargain shopper. So I found myself, there was one thrift store that I used to just find the coolest vintage stuff. I always kept it for myself.
Yeah.
Always. I'm like, my wardrobe's going to be killer.
Best dressed, absolutely.
So I found myself with piles of clothes. And I was like, I'm never going to wear these, you know. And at first I was just going to try to resell stuff. But then I was like, how do I make this more valuable? And how do I keep it going? So I had it in my mind. I was like, I'm just going to start bleaching shirts and see, how that
How
goes.
it turns out, absolutely.
Yeah.
You had enough to play with, so
Yeah.
why not?
Right. So it first started with bleaching. It was when I lived in the Archer, and I just went up on the roof and I was like, let's just see what happens. I put them up on Etsy in the next 2 days, I think. All the shirts sold immediately.
What year was this, would you say?
This was 2019.
Okay.
So it'll be 4 years on August 21st.
It's come a long
this
way.
year. Yeah. So really just started with the bleaching, and then there were some things that I just resold. And at first it kind of started off on my Instagram stories. You know how people do closet sales and
Absolutely,
stuff like that.
yeah. Put
But I
everything on. It's a long story. Market sold. Yeah.
But that took too much time, and it was hard to navigate. So I was like, I'm going to try this on a website. So I did. And once those shirts sold, I was like, yep, this is going to work.
I'm doing this. Yeah.
So then that was.
They sell fairly quickly?
Yeah.
That's
within
awesome.
a few hours. I
Oh,
think
shit.
I put maybe five to 10 shirts up. And
I was going to think a few days,
Yeah,
but yeah.
no, it was
Okay. Very quick then.
yeah. So I was like, all right, this works. Cool. And then, COVID hits, and everyone sees on TikTok that they can bleach clothes at home. And I was like, I am fucked. The opposite happened.
Yeah.
It blew up even more because people didn't want to do it on their own, but they liked the look.
And you had already kind of perfected that style, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so it was in style. So I was like, all right, cool. And it helped me get through COVID, you know. And then I was like, okay, now let's get a little more creative. Let's see what we can do here. And that's when I started doing jackets and
Patchwork
the star
and yeah.
sleeves and stuff like that. I was just like, I just want cute outfits for myself, and I know that other people feel the same. Women's sports clothes, I don't want a pink jersey. I don't want sparkles. I don't want whoever is running the production of women's sports
For sports
clothes
teams, yeah.
is definitely a man.
Yeah,
Because
it is actually.
It's unreal. I
It
was
is.
like, no. Half of the fun of going to sporting events is the outfits for me. I love putting a cute sports outfit on and
Yeah, all girls do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's part of the event
yeah.
for you.
And in Cleveland, we have so many t-shirt companies. Nobody else in the world loves to rep their city more than Cleveland.
More than Clevelanders.
So I was like, okay, there's definitely a market for it, and I don't want to be wearing the same shirt as the next 10 girls next to me. So that was really where it kind of came into play, where it was everything is one of one. You are not going to have the same thing as someone else.
Yep.
Things would sell. People would wait until I posted that things were up, and they would sell like that. Because
It's
people
like
knew that
it's
it
like
was
a hype
one.
drop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
when did you start seeing obviously immediate success if you sold everything in one day? That is blowing my mind because I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah.
When did you start seeing the mass following? Because I remember specifically athletes reaching out for their girlfriends, their wives, getting basically buying in bulk from you.
Yeah.
When did that really take off? When actual athletes started to recognize your work and want that?
So I remember my first athlete wife was Randall Cobb's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I started on the Two One Thrift page. I would go follow Like I'm
Smart.
finding all
Absolutely.
the wives, I'm finding all the girlfriends, I'm finding the sneaky links, I'm finding you.
I got you.
Like you're gonna see this.
Mm-hmm.
So Randall Cobb's wife wanted me to. This was when he was with the Cowboys, and she wanted me to make her a jacket. When it's an athlete's wife, I will sell you anything out of my personal closet. I do not care.
Yeah.
So I made her like a jacket from my personal closet, and then she posted about it. Like Stipe, I don't know
Miocic, yeah.
I don't know how to say his last name. His wife got a shirt for me before. I had a girl from Cleveland who is married to a player, like just kind of like here and there. And I was like, it was the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely.
Like,
That's
awesome.
a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. And I feel like most of like the gaining of followers, especially with something like that, is like with doing giveaways and connecting with other businesses that do similar things but different, you know. So like the giveaways are the main source of a following.
And bringing new buyers, potential buyers in.
Yeah, definitely. And then pop-up shops, you meet people that might not see you online. So those were also like really great. And when I started, and this is a humble brag, no one was doing what I did. Like, now there's a lot more, and I'm not going to say that I started the trend, but no one was doing it, so there was more, like, need for it. People wanted it. So
and they wanted it done by the person who maybe was able to do it better because they had more experience. And I feel like that's even with quarantine, like you said. Right. You saw it blow up then, you had already started. If the trend gets good, people still want to go to the best source. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. So I can definitely understand that.
Yeah, and like during COVID, there were only 2 thrift stores open in this area. Not even in the area, but like one was in Brunswick and one was in North Royalton. So I had limited resources.
Options, yeah.
So I remember I made a ton of stuff that I didn't really love. Like, I wouldn't wear it. But my best friend at the time loved every single piece of it. We were polar opposites. So I was like, okay, not everything has to be what I like.
What you love, yeah.
So that gave me a lot more, like,
creative
initiative
freedom.
to
Absolutely.
like, try different things and see what works and see what doesn't. And then I taught myself how to screen print, and that was where it really, like, kind of elevated. Because, like, I got a Cricut eventually. But the quality of vinyl is just not as great.
For someone that doesn't know what a Cricut is, would you briefly like explain what that does?
So a Cricut machine can do so many different things. I only use it for the vinyl because I'm not that, you know, I can only learn so many things. So it will cut out the design for you, and then you just iron it on the shirt.
And it can make stickers. It can do all types of different stuff.
All types of different stuff, and like basically like mostly cutting stuff out for you. Which was it was a good thing to buy. But the screen printing was really where I felt more comfortable because I know that the product's going to last longer.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I still want to give you something quality. Everything's, you know, secondhand, but like we're still doing quality over here. So once I started the screen printing, that was where I kind of branched out and started doing my own designs, and that's when the star sleeves kind of happened, and those are like my favorite.
That's
I love
the iconic. Yeah, it's part of the iconic look of Two One Thrift. Absolutely.
I wanted to branch out. Some people don't like sports, or some people don't want to wear something that says Browns. They might just want to wear something that says Cleveland.
Might just like your look. Yeah, absolutely.
Like they just want a cute outfit for
to go out on a Saturday or something.
Because not everybody that goes tailgating cares about the sport.
Right.
They just care about the party.
Especially most of the time, like the tailgate is a Cleveland thing, whether you're a fan of football or not. If you live in Cleveland, you've been at least one tailgate in your life.
Right.
No question about it.
I have seen over the years how like the game day styles have changed, and people like instead of just wearing jeans and a t-shirt, like people are putting outfits together.
Yeah, they put that shit on. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like fashion has been so much fun over the
Thank
last
God,
few years.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. So the Cricut definitely helps. I always thought that was patchwork, so that's good. That definitely shows the quality. That's a testament to the quality there. Now, you did bring up a few things I wanted to ask about the events. Now, I've had the pleasure of attending one of those events at Velvet Dog before. What goes into collaborating with other businesses, other creators? How did you start that? Where did that process start?
So I think that my first collab that I really did was with Cocky's Bagels, because I'm friends with Natalie, like part owner. So it was just like she reached out to me because she wanted to support me.
Yeah.
And I was like, Yeah, absolutely.
Good friends being good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the business community in Cleveland too is so that way,
Mm-hmm.
where it's a mutually beneficial thing to support each other.
To come to collaborate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely selfless to put your guard down and reach out and do something like that
Yeah.
with another business.
Yeah. So I've done things with, other clothing companies or candle companies or things that
Mm-hmm.
you never know who they know
Yep.
to
Or
get
who
your
they
name
could
out
bring
there.
in. Absolutely.
So, and like we've done ones where there will be a giveaway with, you're winning something from 8 small businesses.
Right.
So like that draw, people love giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. A raffle.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's so fun. So then doing other pop-up shops, I was like, I feel like I could do one of these. And like Velvet, of course, was so nice to be able to, like,
It's
they were just
perfect.
like, yeah, let's do it. We'll do whatever you want. Like any idea to get more business there too. So we did those summer markets. They were really fun. Some of them were really hot out, but
The one I was at, it
Yeah.
definitely was.
like sweating.
Mm-hmm.
But and like we did them on Sundays. So nothing in the city is really like going on
It's
Sundays
not popping, right?
when there's not Browns games or Indians games, Guardians games. So I was like, let's do something to at least like get people out. Why not? And it ended up being really fun. I'm hoping that maybe we'll do it again this summer.
Yeah.
But events are always good. Like if you just got to talk to people
Yep.
and
Market
you know.
yourself. Be friendly. Be sociable. Anyone that would be considering going into business for themselves, would you have any pointers? Anything that could be potentially easily dodged, obstacles, things like that you would openly tell someone, hey, this is what you should or should not do?
My strategy in life and in business is I want to be friends with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't burn bridges with anyone. You never know who's a potential like partner in the future.
Yep.
You want to be personable. You want people to want to buy it because it's you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is where I do succeed a lot more, is because my friends want to support me because it's me.
Yeah.
So
the face of the brand matters.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it matters so much. You have to be personable. You have to be willing to put yourself out there and to talk. And, the hard parts I find is like all the marketing and the social media that you have to do. Like it is stressful, but the weeks that I don't feel like doing anything, I don't. I'm not going to force it because I don't want to lose the love for it.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to take a break, I need to take a break. I took like a 3-month hiatus when I had to switch websites because I was just overwhelmed.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Took a hit to my financial situation, but I think maybe I would have given up had I tried to push through it. So it's like you kind of just have to like give yourself grace and remember that you are the boss. You control everything.
Which can be it's a pro and a con at times. As long as you get back to it, there is nothing wrong with taking breaks. I understand that from hosting, producing, and editing a show every week, and definitely have taken a break, and so I can relate to that. I would say that it is nice though that you are open and honest about what it does take, because a lot of people, I mean, even me included, we need to hear that like it's okay to not always feel creative or be in the mood for something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true in even life in general. You know what I mean?
And like on the creative aspect of it, if you're going into something and you're not feeling creative, you're not going to put out your best work.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's
You're
kind of
gonna
a waste.
sloppily throw something together. Yes.
Yeah. So that's something that I, sometimes I'll have a pile of clothes and I'm like, I know exactly what I want to do with all of that, but I don't feel creative in the slightest right now. So I'm going to wait till next week.
Get back to it.
And then I'll have a day where I make 50 pieces of clothing because I
Which
just
is
can't stop.
insane.
Yeah. Like it's just, you have to want to do it. And like, you have to love what you do. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to make this because it's going to sell.
Right.
You have to like also want your product, because then you're going to know. You can think from the
consumer end.
Yeah,
Absolutely. The lens of the consumer is always something that is obviously most important when running a business where you sell an item. But just even back to the creative side, it really is something that'll keep you stimulated. If we are doing anything in life for the wrong reason, chances are it's not going to work out.
Right.
And it's likely not going to be a memorable experience. And that's just how it is sometimes.
Right. And like every time that someone asks me, or talks about my business and they're like, you're doing so well and blah, blah, blah. I always say, I am so lucky. Like, I just feel so lucky to have the support that I do. I feel lucky that I love what I do. Like, I feel lucky that I don't have to force myself to, work to make somebody else happy.
Absolutely. And being your own boss is something that not many people ever can bet on themselves and take that risk. But from the people that do it, you always hear great reviews, Yeah. As long as you kind of stay consistent and don't slack off too much, which is nice because I know you personally. So I do understand that, you do work hard and you are humble. So you won't give yourself maybe the credit that you deserve sometimes. But I definitely can understand that, you put yourself in a lot of situations just by being sociable that set you up for success by the people you knew, the relationships you've made, and just being who you are. So that is a huge win overall.
Yeah, definitely.
What would be something that you'd say is maybe, soon to be, anything for Two One Thrift that has not been done yet, but you want to accomplish in the future?
So I hand sew everything. Everything that I sew, I hand sew because I don't know how to use a sewing machine yet.
Got it.
So that is my main priority within Two One Thrift is to learn how to use a sewing machine just so, one, again, better quality, better, sturdiness on the stitch, and just being able to do things differently. And I want to kind of branch into reworking normal clothes. Like I'll find patterns, like I'll find an old dress that is an awful style, but I love the pattern. So I want to be able to turn that into something else.
I have noticed you doing that before, especially with your try-ons. Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of a goal. I want to be able to offer things other than sports because, not everybody's into that.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I like that. Do you ever think about potentially getting, a storefront? Do you want to have a brick and mortar location? Is that?
I would love to.
Yeah, so that might be in the plans for the future?
Yes, that is
Love that.
That is a dream. But I know how much more work goes into that.
Yeah.
So I want
The
to
whole
make
new
sure
beast.
that I'm fully ready to take that on. I don't want to spread myself too thin. I don't want, I just want to know what I'm getting myself into and what I'm doing. But I have so many ideas if I were to have a storefront that could expand what I do.
Yeah, and make
more custom stuff and,
Yes, I do. I can't wait to see the day that happens. You are creative. You know how to think outside of the box in those ways. So that will be an exciting time for both you and the business, which will be nice.
Yeah.
Cleveland, I can assume?
Yes.
Okay. So for you guys that don't know Rebecca, Cleveland is 100% her city. She is, you spent your life in Cleveland, correct?
Yeah. Been here forever. So.
What are some things in Cleveland that you would say you enjoy most?
The people is the main thing.
Midwest?
Yeah, like everyone is nice. For the most part, obviously.
Right.
Whatever.
You get your bad eggs, bad apples.
But I love the, we are the butt of everyone's joke. And no one loves
Cleveland especially.
Yeah, no one loves Cleveland more than Clevelanders. Like, you can't say shit to us. Like, we can talk shit about our city, but you can't.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it on TV either.
Right. And I just love that, no matter what, and, some of, we hate it some days, we love it the others, but, no matter what, it's always going to be home.
So I know that you hate the word content creator, the reference content creator, but I think in many ways you are certainly an influence to people, especially in the Cleveland area. Now, regardless of what you think about the word, when did you start seeing that success? Where did it start? I know, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, especially TikTok has been a big success. Where did you start to kind of see that growth? And then what did you decide to do with it from there?
So within last year, I had noticed, I became friends with my friends Natalie and Emma, who really they really understand how to get good content, and they've taught me so much about just the aesthetics and stuff like that, and
behind that,
and not being afraid to post and stuff, and so last year my goal by the end of the year was to hit 10,000 followers, and I did it on Instagram, and I did it 2 months before the end of the year, so I was super pumped about that.
Oh yeah.
But I've always been, and people hate Instagram now. I've always loved Instagram. I've always been the picture taker. So even like Facebook. Like this goes back all the way to high school. Like I've always been an oversharer. I've always been like, I want to like meet people. So in high school, I always had my digital camera.
Because you have like a photo wall or something, don't you?
Of where?
From your high school? Like I swear I've seen like collages of photos of you before.
My childhood bedroom is just
That's right. You told me that.
Yeah. So in high school, I always had my digital camera. It was like, I uploaded a whole album the night after something. Like
Photo bucket or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You kids are too young to even know what photo bucket is. That was the shit back in the day.
It was the shit. I used to have like paragraphs on a picture. I'm like, what am I doing? But so one year I remember in high school, they didn't really have a yearbook committee.
Oh.
And
you have to have a yearbook.
Right. So they messaged me or came up to me in school or something. And they were like, hey, is it okay if we use pictures from your Facebook for the yearbook?
Oh my gosh.
I was on every single page of the yearbook, which like
as you should if they're
right.
using it.
Yes, like that was like I was definitely in high school. I just wanted to like be that like cliche popular high school.
Oh yeah, no, I get that,
and
we all do.
Yeah,
when we're
I was
kids.
going
Absolutely.
to make it happen, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also just part of my personality to be that way with people. But then, I just looked today when I first got Instagram. It was 2012 when I was in college.
Wow, yeah,
so
about the same time I did too.
Yeah, so like 11 years now. But it really kind of started blowing up when I made it more interactive, Instagram-wise, whereas like doing polls and question box and
so your story.
Yeah, because now everybody watches stories and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't.
I spend more time on that than I do the timeline.
Right, because the algorithm is terrible.
And it's all video. I can see why people maybe don't like it. It's just all videos, and I get that.
And if I want to watch videos, I'm gonna watch them on TikTok. I'm not like really a real person, but there's different content I'll watch on Instagram. But that was like once I hit like that 10,000, I was like, all right, I gotta do something with this now. Like I gotta,
because it's not a little number.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But it was like everybody that I met, I would, every person you meet out, you follow them on Instagram, and that's just like
it's what you do.
Like when
what's your Insta? What's your IG?
Yeah. When I was in Cincinnati this weekend, somehow 64 followers in one day.
Jeez.
Just from being out there.
It would take me 3 months to gain 64 followers on Instagram. That's no joke.
It was just like so weird. And it's just like that interaction. And I do it and like people do it with me where it's like, okay, you seem interesting. Like let's
see each other's lives through this lens.
Yeah. So I started TikTok. I was like a little bit late to it. I was kind of against it. As we all, I feel like
we all are, because we're so used to like our big apps, which for us, we grew up, Facebook, which is an old person thing to say of me, but we had Facebook, we had Instagram, and we had Twitter. Like those were the big ones for me at least. Yeah. So change was tough.
Yeah, and I never had Vine. Like I never used Vine.
Oh, I love Vine.
That was a big thing. I would see them, but I never downloaded the app.
Yeah, you didn't have to back in the day.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, it's just like another Vine. Like I'm not going to post on it. So why would I need it? Look at me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the case. So I first downloaded it when quarantine, obviously.
That's what I think.
We're all bored.
TikTok spiked during quarantine. Like looking at numbers, it just blew up.
Yeah. So I actually yesterday was 3 years since the first TikTok I ever posted.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was your first TikTok?
It was. Have you ever seen Schitt's Creek?
Yeah, the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I actually have a little Funko Pop of him over there.
It's such a good show. So I watched that during quarantine. And there was the scene where Alexis does like a little bit Alexis song. So I learned the dance and I did that.
Oh my God.
And it was funny. Like, and then I, posted it on Instagram and Facebook and everybody loved it. So it was like, didn't really blow up on TikTok, but the other stuff I was like, okay, this is funny.
It's still good. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I kind of had to like figure out how to work with TikTok.
And get into an algorithm somewhere.
Yeah. So my first TikTok that ever went viral was about masturbating.
I know this. Do you mind talking about it?
No, not at all.
Awesome.
So, it was. I remember, I like had just smoked, so I was like, just thinking, and I was like, and I was like, I'll put most things out there. So it was basically like, when you were younger, what did you use before you knew what you were doing?
Right.
And I didn't expect it to like blow up like it did, but the comments on this video, like sometimes I'll still go back and look at it because
Just for
they're
fun.
so funny. And it was like this amazing like safe space
Community.
for women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everyone was saying out these outrageous things that like maybe they've never told anybody. Like a bunch of people commented on it like, I've never told anybody this, but I'm putting it on TikTok.
I love
like,
that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I got an email from BuzzFeed to feature
Get out.
the TikTok in an article. And I was like, yeah, like
For sure.
sure. So then I was like, oh no, am I gonna have to like just keep talking about this?
Mhm.
Like, cause you know the whole niche thing.
Absolutely. Once
So I
you're
was
put in
like-
somewhere, they want you to stay there.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't really know. Like, it reached 1 million people, and I'm like, you never know who's gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
But then started doing, like Angie, our boss,
Mm-hmm.
started like asking us to do more TikToks at work and stuff like that.
Yes.
And we were all like, yeah, we're down to do it, but we didn't really know where to start or like
Where to
what
draw
do.
inspiration. Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah, I look back at when we first started doing TikToks to now, like, and like the quality is better. Like
Mhm.
everything, we're more confident doing it and stuff like that. So started doing it behind the bar. And then those were the ones that,
Really, yeah.
that's where it kind of took off. And then with the business, I had to do
Your jumping
my-
video.
Yes.
That's what I get to do my jumping videos today. I'm like, nice.
Literally once a week, someone that I come in contact with jumps in front of me and
That's
like
funny.
imitates the jump.
It's like a choose your character thing.
Yes,
It's cute. Like if you guys don't know, I'll drop one of them. Like I'll drop a quick clip while we're watching this. But yeah, it's a 2-1 thrift thing, 100%.
Yeah, and so those are really fun because that helped me get more business for
Mhm.
that, and
Which
then
is a huge win.
yeah, and then it's helping me on both ends because now people come into Velvet Dog and they're like, I follow you on TikTok or like,
We hear it at the door. We hear immediately. Is Rebecca here? We just met Rebecca. We follow her on TikTok. I love it.
Yeah.
There's something about it that's like knowing you. It's nice
Yeah.
knowing that like you do have like a voice for people that something resonates and they
Yeah.
want to come and see you, meet you,
yeah,
just know you.
yeah, and it's
that's
really
awesome.
fun because like a lot of the times people will be like, oh, I don't want to end up on your TikTok, and I'm like, good, because now you're gonna be a better bar patron anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're learning something from me because most of them are making fun of customers. Like
Yeah, in a playful way though.
yeah, like
Mhm.
and I'm never like super serious. Like there are little things that annoy me, but like I'm not gonna be mean to you because you
Right.
did that. It's just like, oh, maybe now it'll be in the back of your head not to do that.
Yes.
But yeah,
Tipping. Just tip your bartenders
yeah,
really
just
at the end
tip
of the
your
day.
bartenders. Or like if you're not going to, be nice at least, like bare minimum.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't even remember when it actually started taking off follower wise. But I just remember like I would send a screenshot to my friends like every few weeks, like
Watching
to
it count.
Look, yeah, like look at
Mhm.
this.
Because
And
it's up
then-
there right now. It's what you're in the
Yeah,
80,000s.
Yeah, 80,000.2,
It's insane.
I think. And a lot of those are from the St. Patrick's Day live.
Right. Which I do want to talk on that at some
Yeah,
point
yeah.
because that is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that
insane.
was wild. And that was just like an idea that came to me. I don't want to force any of my content ever.
Mm.
So that's one thing about the whole like influencer thing that is it's something that I'm like trying to navigate how to still be true to like who I am. And
Right.
I'm not going to like push you products that I wouldn't use or stuff like that.
Because
Just
you get reached out. I
Yeah.
know that you get emails. You
Yeah.
get all kinds of stuff in regards to that.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of like emails and like brand deals and stuff like that. And it's
Mhm.
all a little overwhelming because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just learning as I go. But they say like you have to post like 4 TikToks a day and all that. And I'm like, I don't really even feel comfortable doing that. I'm just starting to get comfortable talking to the camera.
hmm
And like, it's weird for me still.
To force yourself, even. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Forcing it down someone's throat is one thing. To force yourself to do that 4 times is insane.
Right. Like, and if you have that stuff to talk about, sure. Like,
hmm
if my dating life was interesting right now, yeah.
Yeah.
If I had
Story times.
If I had TikTok
hmm
when I was 25, it would be a
It would be
whole
lit
different story.
in a good or a bad way.
Probably in a good way, but like, I mean, like I had like, I love watching people talk about like their dating life and
Mhm.
stuff. But I have this thing in me where I never want to make somebody feel bad about themselves. I never want to talk about somebody without their permission, or like, I just never want someone to see something and be like, oh, that's about me, and then feel bad about themselves.
That's nice, though. I like that. So I definitely understand not making people feel bad.
Yeah.
That's not who you are.
Right.
It's just simply not your character.
And I think that that's why I do so well on social media, because I'm authentic.
Yeah. You do stay true to you. That's like, very important.
And, you know, I think about it a lot. Like, you know, there's times I go on camera and I look busted. Like, you know, I try not to use face altering filters. Like, I just, like, I'm just welcoming you into my life.
You want to be real, yeah.
And I think that that's what a lot of people lack. And that's why sometimes it doesn't work when people try to be influencers.
We can see that.
Yes.
As consumers ourselves, we know when someone's capping.
Right. So I think that that's really what has helped me on all of the apps. I would say Instagram and Twitter more so, because you see more of that.
Yeah.
The TikTok stuff is more like relatable content for like bartenders and stuff like that. But it's been fun to like navigate TikTok and like learn more. Hopefully like we can keep it. I don't really know what's going on with that.
I think we will, yeah.
Whatever. But like I've been slacking like this week. I didn't really post anything. I should have posted about my trip to Cincinnati, but
yeah.
I'm also like, I took some videos that day to make a TikTok, but I'm also just enjoying my time. Like I don't record.
You're living in the moment.
Yeah. There's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, that would have been great content, but I don't want to record my entire life and feel like I have to do it. I want to do it.
Exactly.
So that's kind of how TikTok works for me. And then Twitter is a whole different...
Twitter is a different beast. I knew her for a year before we started following each other on Twitter, because she warned me, like, hey, this is a war zone in here. Like, you are going to be walking into some shit if you follow me.
Yes.
But I'll follow you back. I was like, oh, yeah, run that.
Yes.
It's
Twitter,
nothing short of fascinating.
Yeah. It's really where I let different parts of my personality show on different apps. I'm comfortable sharing certain things where my mom doesn't follow me. You know?
I can get that.
So Twitter has become, and I've always been one to say anything that comes to my mind. So now I'm just,
in real life, yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes I love seeing your face sometimes when I say things, because you can't believe that I just said it.
Yeah,
and I'll never forget when we were out for New Year's Day and you saw that tweet.
We took a picture, and my response, I was like, oh my gosh.
So funny.
Which was since been deleted.
Yeah, I did delete it.
That's okay.
Yeah, once things, I'm very controversial, you know, especially as a woman saying the things that I'm saying. But I think that gives me more power. I find my power in being
true to you. And,
yeah, like and like saying things that you might not think, but like at least you're getting the real me. So Twitter is basically my place to berate men.
Yeah, that's where men's snarky comments go to die for you.
Yes.
You eat that shit whole.
I have very, very thick skin, and I do think that it is partially because I've been in the service industry so long that you hear so much. And I think that I was thinking about it this morning. I think that my, like, I don't give a fuck what you think about me attitude comes from the fact that, like, my whole life I never thought my dad liked me as a person. Like, whatever, you know, your parents love you.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It was always like, well, if my dad doesn't even like me, like, why do I care what anybody else thinks about me?
Right.
You know, just one of those, like, might not actually be true, but, like, it's just the way I look at it. I'm like...
And you're a kid, so
like,
I get it.
Yeah, you know, like, only God can judge me thing. Like, I don't do God, so, like, nobody can judge me. Like, we're good. So, with Twitter, the response to those crazy tweets, because there's so many trolls, you just kind of got to out troll them.
You do. Or you got to just accept it.
Yeah. And people are going to say negative things anyway. I'd rather read them instead of you say it behind my back. Like,
Absolutely.
At least I can defend myself and embarrass you, because you really, like, it
you get
really
your
doesn't.
Back, yeah.
Yeah. So that's become really fun. And, like, I had Twitter back in, like, college when it was, like, a wild time.
I loved Twitter back then. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Like, I was talking about the other day when you could edit people's tweets. And like,
maybe I don't know about this.
oh man, you used to be able to like, when you would go quote tweet someone, you could change their tweet.
Oh, yes, I
It
do.
was
Okay, yes,
chaos.
yes. It was nuts.
Yes. And like, I was wild in college, and
Mhm.
like, I had a following then because I was always the only white girl.
Mhm.
That was kind of like my.
It was like that in high school too, though. Yeah,
on to college.
I did know
so
that.
That was kind of how I started out on Twitter, and we all were like that, where everyone was just saying everything, and I
Mhm.
just kept it going. Now I unfortunately somehow have become a part of Brown's Twitter and sports
Yeah,
Twitter.
you're locked in there.
Yeah, which like it's good. Because that kind of came on when I started doing the clothes, and then I became friends with all these sports Twitter girls.
Mm-hmm.
Good for business.
Absolutely.
And they're all great. I love them. Because they go through the same stuff too with the trolls and the, you know.
Yeah, men are just dicks on the internet to women that are like popping, more popping than them. I think it's a jealous. It is jealous.
They're jealous because even if they were the hottest man in the world, they still wouldn't get away with what we get away with.
And
that's
part of that irks them.
Yeah, because that's like the one thing that they can't control and have like the power over, which I love. I feed off that.
That's good though.
So I am a baiter. I will bait them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so
Posting
easy.
Original posts just to get those responses.
Yeah, like I will say something so off the wall just because I know that people are going to come back with those responses, and then someone else sees it and it just
still more traction. It's right. Overall that all publicity is good publicity. I get that.
And I've always had that mindset. Like there's really nothing that you could say about me that could really hurt my feelings. I'm not ashamed of anything that I've ever done, said. Like, you know, I've learned a lot. Like there may be things that maybe I wouldn't do again.
Right.
But at that point I wanted to do it. So it wasn't a bad thing, you know. So, and I'm open about stuff like that. Like
that's a great mentality to have though. Yeah. Overall.
And I've always kind of been like, if I say it about myself, no one else can say it about me first. So I can be mean to myself. It doesn't, like, I'm not actually being mean to myself, but you know, I can talk shit on myself.
Yeah, on the counter though, you can hype yourself up at the same time.
Oh yeah. I'm my biggest hype woman. So and like Twitter's been really fun because my following is mostly men. The only app that I have majority women following is TikTok.
Really?
Yes.
Actually, I do know this because any girl that follows me will follow me until I either am in one of your videos or quote one of your videos, and then I lose them. I was going through my unfollowing people yesterday, and I'm like, oh, little asshole not following me anymore. Sure as shit, I know she's following Rebecca, it's cute. It's funny, but yeah. That's good that girls can feel comfortable to be there and to follow you. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I know you. Like, I'll be clear. I know you. I know your intentions. And I know that you would never lead someone to a bad spot, which people can do when they're in a place of power or influence. Right.
Yeah. That's not what I ever want to do. And like, I never want to like con people. Like, it's just.
Yeah, you're not doing it to like get money. You're not subscribed to my Patreon.
Right.
Absolutely.
I do get money, but which
and that's okay. There should be some trade-off there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is fun. Like with the Twitter thing, like I've kind of thought about going into like that findom stuff. Because basically you're just mean to men and they pay you.
Oh, yeah. No, I do know what that is.
But like part of me doesn't even have that in me because like I'm really not a mean person.
At all.
Like,
that would be forced. That you would have to force.
Right. I talked to my one girlfriend. I was like, well, what if I just put my face on it and you do the talking? Because she's really good at it.
That wouldn't, it's like a ghost page.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about that. But like on my birthday, people sent me money. Even Red's a home opener. People just sent us money for drinks.
That is cute. Yeah.
And it's just like a nice little gesture. And I at first didn't really understand it. I'm like, why are these people sending me money? But then like I love doing that for my friends. Like I love to send people money for a drink on their birthday or like stuff like that. So I feel like Twitter's kind of become a place like that. Like I'll just put my Venmo. Like
why not? You might as well.
Geez.
You're okay. No, it's totally fine. If men are going to be there to support you or kind of try to belittle you, you might as well get your kicks out of it.
And then I have my army of simps is what they call them, which I don't like that word.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that made me cringe.
Yeah, like I have a lot of people on there that do stand up for me and like I don't really, you know. So kind of get both sides on Twitter, but that's where I can just say anything.
Mhm.
Like,
You can be you.
yeah.
I like that each different app kind of gets a new side. It also is a way to get people to cross-platform
Right.
follow, and
Right.
absolutely. Now, have you ever considered, as far as a creator only, not anything business related, but collabing with different? I mean, I guess in this situation we kind of are. But like, have you ever done anything like that? Like meet up with another creator just to film videos or do something, and then kind of use it on both of your.
Not
You know what I'm
yet,
asking?
but I feel like I have chatted with some people, like bartenders on TikTok and stuff like that, about doing that.
Which you just did one with that
Yes,
open interview. Yeah.
So I'm open to like anything that's gonna benefit me and anyone else. Like, I will repost anything you want. I will comment on anything you want because I want us all to win. So like, I'm
Absolutely.
super open to that. And that's probably something this year that I'll look a little bit more into. Because I do have a lot of fun bartenders that follow me, and
Oh, absolutely.
like now I'm like, I kind of want to like go to all their bars. Like, I just want to go visit.
Oh,
and
do like a tour.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
With
there's
Mike and,
a girl
yeah.
in Nashville that like I'm like, I want to go see you. She's like the one that opens all the bottles really fast. I'm like, I gotta go visit her. Like, I need.
I
to
know
meet
exactly
her.
who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
really
yeah.
sweet. So I'm super open to that, but I don't know how to approach that. Like, I would rather them approach me.
Or
type
yeah,
deal.
you could just have someone, I guess, set it up.
Yeah.
Which also brings me to my next question. Do you think you'll get to a point where you need a content manager, someone
I
that
would
just
love to have one.
yeah.
Just because I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, and I have a lot on my plate already.
You're incredibly busy.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I talked to Cleveland Vibes. They kind of are looking to get into doing that as well. So we just kind of have to like iron things out and see
If it works for both.
Yeah, like what they want and how we're gonna go about it. But I would love that because I would just take one thing off my plate, and that's not the part. I don't like the back end stuff. I don't like negotiating.
Yeah, you've been clear on that too.
Yeah, I'm not good at like going back and forth with brands, and like I just started to check my email every morning. Like now,
Because you got so many people blowing you up.
Yeah.
And you've even talked about it out. Like whether we're out at work. So I know it's probably overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's an overwhelming amount, at least.
Yeah, and like you want, and that's the whole thing is like I want to be personable, so I try to respond to as many messages as I can, but sometimes it's just too many.
Much.
And then it's like on every platform, and it's like, oh, did I respond to this person? And then it gets hidden, and like I would just love for someone to organize my life, I guess.
I get that.
So,
And we all need that help, but when you're at the level you are amongst multiple platforms, it could be a great benefit. You know, like here's my stuff. This is what I'm going to continue to post by myself on. Here's the stuff I need you guys to help me with or decide.
Right.
That's that could be cool to see.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
I
if
feel
that
like
happens.
I've never been a person to be like, this is my year. But I had an overwhelming feeling of it this year. So,
Yeah.
And it's already kind of
I like
starting
that.
to feel that way. So, like I had like the magazine articles and everything like that. So it just kind of like
It's already been a great year.
Yeah. So I would feel like maybe by the end of this year, I'll probably have that side figured out.
And see what you want to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's gotta be someone I trust too. You know.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It 100% has to be.
Yeah.
It is weird working with different brands because, you had mentioned in an unrelated topic that you do need to be still true to you so that things are still genuine and people don't feel like it's fake. That is something I've learned just with having sponsorships on the show, kind of feeling products out and do I want to put my name behind this?
Right.
It can have a major plus side, because then you're on their platform. It's a sponsorship. But if it's ever something that maybe isn't the best or not, just not worth it,
Right.
that can be scary as well. And having a manager could always kind of work those issues out for you.
Right. Like if I don't like a product and I don't want to
You don't need to
post about
endorse it.
I don't know that I'm comfortable enough being like, hey, thanks for sending me this thing for free, but I don't like it. You
Right.
know, like I don't know how to say that.
And then
I'm
you
a
still
people
like they're
pleaser.
waiting for the video. Absolutely.
Yes.
Has anything like that without name dropping? Has anything like that happened with you yet?
There's never been one that I really didn't like. But I think that sometimes it's like coming up with the content is the hard part because it's like, how do I even fit this into me.
A video or a post.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there have been ones where it like takes me a while to do it, but nothing that I really, really didn't like.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. I like to hear that, I should say.
Yeah, and I definitely weed out ones where I know I'm like, this doesn't align with me. Like, yeah, sure, you can send me these free shoes, but I would never wear them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. The weirdest thing, so like obviously the sports world you do have a major hand in, and you kind of working on one pieces feeds into the hype world. Everything is very unique, kind of start to finish there. Is the thrifting process something, because I know it's huge just amongst people in general, is that something where like you feel like you're battling against just regular thrifters at times? I'm sorry to throw this all the way off course,
no,
but
you're good. Yes, it is. I have a strategy when I go in the store, and
I know there's set days that
I
you
look
do.
around, and I try to like, read people and see what they're looking for and stuff like that. So I always start, and especially now that a lot of people are doing the sports reselling and like people are looking for the same things as me. I always start in the largest men's t-shirt and then work my way down, because
like the oversized look.
Yeah, even if it's just like men thrifting for themselves, a lot of them aren't fitting in the smalls. I can look at the smalls last.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So,
that's fair to say.
Yeah, and like I definitely I try to go through fast on certain racks. Certain racks I can take my time because whatever. But like stuff like that, like the hoodies and the t-shirts,
grab them up.
Yeah, like I need to. That's my first priority. Like.
So those are the things you do want first, then? Just really just hoodies, t-shirts? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking like jackets and stuff, but maybe that is just too much. There's too much going on there.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of options and stuff, or like women's jackets and stuff like that. But yeah, like t-shirts are going to be like your most popular rows, I feel like, of the store. And then depending on what I need, like if I really need flannels, I'll start in flannels. Like
designate a mission just for that. No, that's smart. That is smart. I've always kind of, I guess, from a person who doesn't know anything about thrifting, always found it fascinating where like you can go in there and find something that is way, way undervalued. It's something that's worth tremendous amounts more. You've been doing this, you said, your entire life. How do you know what's a hit, what isn't, from like a strategic standpoint?
So the prices at thrift stores have changed drastically over the last 4 years even.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed, it's so weird. I'll find like a super vintage Browns or Indians shirt and it's $2.
Yeah.
And then
and that retro stuff is huge right now.
Right. Then I'll find like a newer like brown zip up or Browns t-shirt and it's $15.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I'm like, what? So it's very strange. And there are some things like I'll find and I'm like, this is super cool. I know this is valuable, but somebody else will appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Or, like it's not really what I do.
Doesn't fit into
so, like,
what you
I definitely
need.
leave stuff if I don't find it valuable from my brand personally. But like Harley Davidson is huge right now.
Oh yeah.
Like those are always valuable things. You kind of like see what's trending and what a lot of people are searching for, and even like in like TikTok, how you can search and it'll give you recommended things that people are searching just to kind of like find styles
based on what you might like.
Yeah. So it's also like logos, like certain logos I can use for different things. Certain
logos
things.
are huge.
Yeah.
I'm like a logo junkie. I buy pretty much, if it's like a logo I like, I'll get it right on the front of the shirt. Like I don't have much swag when it comes to that. So like if it's just the logo, I want it.
Yeah. So, and like size wise, like if something it's cool, but like it's an extra small,
might not work. Is it going to sit forever?
Right. There's only so many extra smalls or like, stuff like that. So also sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I try something out and it just doesn't hit. And I'm like, okay, well, next time I'll leave it. Yeah. It's really a kind of a gamble most of the time.
Trial and error. And I feel like thrifting in general is kind of testing different things to see what works. And then thrifting to resell is a whole different beast. You know, you have to sit like, all right, well, what are a majority of the sizes that my clientele is buying?
Yeah.
And what do I need to, there's so much that goes into that obviously that goes into like your thought process. I know.
Yeah, definitely.
For
and like
sure.
the like sizing is I want to be inclusive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to give everyone a thing, but if I can't find it, I can't find it.
Right.
So that's kind of like a hard part. So I always try to look in the larger sizes first for that reason too.
Yeah,
Just
and that's
more options.
That is nice. I will say I knew about Two One Thrift. I had attended Two One Thrift parties, and one thing that you've always been clear on is that you have, you know, options for both sex, you know,
Yes,
like
yeah.
whether you're male, you're female, whatever. You have options available, which is very nice.
Yeah, a lot of men don't think I make men's stuff because I do cater to women, like, and I always will.
And that's okay.
Yeah, like, you guys have the options, like, and really the most that I can do for men is t-shirts and like hoodies and jackets maybe, like, but the jackets are ones that I just find and resell, like starter jackets, stuff like that. So like pretty much I tell everybody, I'm like, any t-shirt is pretty much unisex. They're also seeing me model it.
You're right.
So
and that's why they maybe just assume. I
Yeah.
can say that from my experiences. Maybe that's why I had assumed that
So like
at the beginning.
I'm like, maybe I should get a guy to do that for me, and maybe eventually I will. But now I have a section in the store that just says like men and unisex, so they
Right.
can go see everything that is available to them. But yeah, I mean, I'm always going to cater to women.
And
It's more fun.
I think that, it's also a way to keep you stimulated in a creative sense. So
Yeah.
I get it. Now, you did release a line, you know, I don't even know fashion like that, but you did release something, you know, you just had a saying on it, which I feel like is starting to grow, but still had that Two One Thrift like touch on it.
Yeah.
You know, how do you think that like something like that will kind of be incorporated into the business as things move forward? Because it's huge overall in fashion right now.
Yeah. It's like mental health based. And I've tried a few things over the years, and sometimes I'll only make a few, and if they don't sell, I won't make it again. I'm like, okay, it wasn't a hit. But with those, it's like, all right, I can put this saying on a million different styles of shirt.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not just the same white t-shirt that you're going to spend $50 on. Like, you're going to find your personality in that shirt. And that's like another huge part about this whole thing is it's like, it's for your personality. It's like, it's always personal to you and your style, and, you know.
Because each piece is different. You
you
can
don't have
find
to
what works.
Yeah, you don't have to fit into like that girl mode and like, you know.
Which is important for buyers that are uniquely different themselves. Yeah.
Which I feel like everyone in Cleveland really is.
We are, even like if we look at like our group, like I know when we go out as a group, whether it's Sunday Fun Day, it's an event for work, whatever, I'm always like, we are all so different
Yeah,
in
we're so
the most
diverse.
beautiful ways.
Yeah.
You know? I like that.
Yeah, say it. People have
Cleveland is
commented
that
on TikToks like that, where it's like, you guys have such a diverse like staff. And I'm like,
we definitely do.
We do.
People really do enjoy kind of getting those glimpses into your life, which is cool. But those staff ones are always funny.
Yes.
Shout out to Miguel, because he seems to be the star of the show every single time.
He's so funny.
I do love that.
Yeah.
All right, so kind of refocusing on that mental health aspect, you know, I do notice that is something that just across the board we are all more open to talking about in the recent years, which I actually do think is a very good thing.
Yeah.
With that kind of being the inspiration behind your latest drop, is that something that, you know, is important to you? And obviously I'm going to understand that answer, but it's more for the people that maybe don't know you. What does mental health mean to you?
So I think that everyone should try therapy at some point.
I
or
would
at least
second that.
have, you know, have that person that you feel like you can talk to. I'm constantly self-analyzing in my own head. Like, I've been to therapy before. I'm not currently in it, but I'm constantly thinking about, like, you know, how to be better, and how, like, literally, like, to me, you only live one life, so why would you not want to be like the best version of yourself?
Absolutely.
And
so you're not overanalyzing in a negative way. It's not a negative self-talk. Yeah, you're
necessarily.
thinking of ways to improve, which is good.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty kind to myself for the most part. I could not be, but definitely, like, and I think that's what helps, is I'm constantly doing it to make sure that I'm staying on track with who I want to be and what I want to put out into the world. I'm a huge believer in karma and energy.
Yeah. think negative, feel negative.
Yeah.
Negative's going to keep coming.
Yeah. So that's where I feel like mental health goes into my life is energy is so powerful. And if you're feeling negative in your head, like you're going to put out that negativity. Like you know, everyone knows someone who's constantly negative.
And you can read the demeanor. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, how do you expect to be happy on a day-to-day basis if you're constantly negative? Like just switch your attitude a little bit. And sometimes, you know, you never know who's having a bad day. In the store, I always smile at everybody. I always, you know, if I see
smile,
something,
wave.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you can read something on a shirt that is just going to make you feel like, okay, it's going to be okay. It doesn't even have to be an actual interaction because not a lot of people interact with people.
I like that.
Yeah. So the basis of the I'm glad you woke up sweaters. So one of the styles is facing forward for other people to read. And then one of them, the words are reversed. So when you look in the mirror, it's reading it back to yourself.
I love that.
Yeah. And then
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah.
So I do love that.
And I literally came up with that concept while I was doing a Rise class.
Yeah, that's something I have not seen.
Yeah. Yeah. So then like you have one on your sleeve, so you're looking down at it. The other ones have something on the back. So like when you're in line at a store, the person behind you's reading it.
And that's where I really started to see those. I saw someone just wearing something on the back of their shirt, and I noticed like, oh, this is gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, and like I've seen the ones where it was like the person in front of you hopes you have a great day or something like that.
And they're cute messages,
Yeah.
but they are messages. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That could totally change someone's outlook of that, maybe just that day or that moment.
Right. You literally never know. So.
And you don't know what people are going through. Like, just even our like friends. I saw a post on that. You might have shared it. It was someone recently, but. We don't know what our friends are going through. We don't know what the person next to us on, our commute to work, anything. So it is just important to not put your negative outlook
just
onto someone else.
Sprinkling a little bit of light,
Yeah, or hope that things can get better.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I will definitely second, just helping yourself is something that is very important. Therapy is not a bad thing. I think we've all kind of grown to accept that recently, which I do enjoy. I like that we can help ourselves, especially men. I feel like men weren't able to talk about that.
Right.
Or chose not to because they thought it showed weakness. But, knowing yourself, knowing who you are and who you can be is your best weapon. There's nothing, I guess, stronger than being comfortable inside and out.
Right.
So
it's truly life-changing to like be able to be yourself.
It's a weapon. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've definitely been able to do that, and you see that, whether it's your business, your content, your attitude.
Yeah.
You stay pretty consistent, which is nice.
Yeah.
That is a weapon in itself.
Yeah.
I know it's not caring what people think, but you don't have to.
Right.
When you do know yourself. So
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on. This has been fun.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we finally did it.
I know.
Like we've been talking about it for like a year
forever.
now.
It's been a minute. I remember specifically when I was like, oh yeah, I need to make this happen. Yeah. And I think it was more so me. Like I do want to be clear because I know when we posted the video, I was like, oh, I've been trying to do this. It's not like she said no. Let's be clear on that. It was me trying to just make it happen. So before we end though, do you have anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to say?
Oh, geez.
I know the overwhelming question I typically should prepare people for.
I don't know.
Where can people follow you if they wanted to?
You can follow me on everything. My Instagram is Rebecca.Maxwell, and then my TikTok is It's Rebecca Maxwell. And then if you are feeling wild and you want to jump on the Twitter train, it is Rebecca__Max. But
won't be disappointed.
I'm warning you now. Just know what you're in for.
Definitely. I will second that. They are all entertaining. Twitter has grown to become my favorite. TikTok is great nonetheless. So thank you guys for tuning into this episode. We will see you very soon. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share this episode with a friend. We'll see you very soon.